Hey guys, coming here from Manuel Antonio, Costa Rica. So I want to talk today about realizing truth. So why is this so important for your life? So everything that's true is already known because that which is true is self-evident. Self-evident is, in other words, doesn't doesn't need outside evidence because it's so true that it's actually true. Something that's not true needs evidence from the outside to back it up. But the real deal is the real deal. Because the real deal doesn't need proof from the outside to validate it and make it seem like it's more true. And the highest truth is the evidence of the self. Okay, so that was a lot of stuff, but let's try and see if we can boil that down into something that's understandable. So, the really important thing about this is to see that if you, so say if you look at the surroundings around you and you look at a tree outside or you look at anything, your eyes pick up this as being, of course, a relative reality, but you see this as being a reality. Why is this important? Because that anything that is inherently true, you can sense in some way, whether it be physical senses or inner senses. But if something is true, you will be able to see it. You'll be able to experience it, to sense it in some kind of way. But if something is not true, if I cannot see it, if I cannot feel it, if I cannot sense it in some kind of way, it will not be actually true. Okay, so now that we understand that, you see that people who say that consciousness is not real, people who deny your own sovereign consciousness, this is obviously not true because you are speaking right now, and that means that you are aware and that you have an awareness. Similarly, when you see a bird outside, or you see a tree, or you see anything that's moving, and you see this is real, this is something that I'm experiencing, right? You're not gonna deny that and say this is not real. But this is where I feel like it kind of some dark arts and some magician stuff when people are trying to decide what they subjectively feel is real or not real to be the truth. So this is where the idea of the absolute comes in, because people like to say absolutism here and there, and you are being too absolutist, or people are scared of like committing to what is actually the absolute truth. And this is where I'm here to just break that down, because when you spend a little bit of time reflecting on it, you will come to realize that there is a certain order to this universe, and a certain there is a certain truth and some things that are not true. And this is something you just have to come to accept in your path, that as much as the ego wants to grab onto certain things and have excuses for doing certain other things, you have to just commit to the fact that relativism will never be true. In other words, the whole notion that some ideas are better than others, or that's never going to be true. The truth of the matter is that there is a certain framework of reality which we have to accept as the highest plane of what we can experience. And then there's going to be a certain amount of untruth So if you are trying to prove with scientific evidence, right? If you're trying to scientifically prove something, that means that you are not already able to sense it, and therefore you have to use external forms of evidence to go into this intellectual, egoic debate and trying to convince people that what you're saying is true. But on the other hand, if you see an elephant and you perceive this elephant with all your senses, you will be able to determine, well, here's an elephant, and this is truth. And no matter how much scientific evidence that anyone can put up to try to prove to you that this is not an elephant, you won't believe it because you have literally seen this. So with this method of inquiry, you can apply this to anything else and start looking and saying, okay, if I look at this phenomena, whatever it might be, if I look at this and I can perceive it through my consciousness, through my eyes, through my ears, if I can see this or experience this, it could apply to having a lucid dream. If you experience it, it must be real. So you can apply this to those other things as well. And when someone is trying to debunk that through external proof, you can use this method to see through that. And similarly, you can inquire about certain things that you wish to understand, and you can find out whether that is true or not true. And if you want to know more about this method of inquiry, Alan Watts is the master. He is the guy that you want to go to for this philosophy, because he is the one who really brought into the West this style of inquiry, which is very rational. It's very something that even people who are not into spirituality, who are not conscious per se, can really embody, because that this philosophy is accessible to all in such a powerful way, and it's a philosophy that, regardless of where you come from, regardless of what style of meditation you prefer, or no meditation or whatever, this is something that anybody can understand and that no one can argue with. And it's something that will bring you so much clarity in terms of deciphering as well which path spiritually that you need to be on philosophically. It's something that will help determine the path in your life immensely, because of its capacity to really grab onto the essence of the true nature of, and it can see through bullshit in a way that no other method of inquiry can. And if you combine this method in your inquiry meditation, the Who Am I Ramana Maharshi style meditation, you will have immense benefits. So have fun with this, guys. This was just a quick video. I'm gonna go out and do what I have to do today, but I'll catch you guys in a few days, and I will come up with a few videos this week. So peace out and have a good day.